Hey everyone, I'm Dan Ryan, sports editor. I'm joined by Josh Walfish and Rohan, the sports editors. So let's get right to it. The first question on everybody's mind is the coverage. So Josh, I'll go to you. Can they cover anyone?
Well, can they? Yes. I mean, Nick Van Moose played a great game against Syracuse. Really only one missed coverage. And luckily, Ryan Nassib was not able to put the ball on the mark there. But the key is going to be on that right side where you have Demetrius Dugard and now Jared Carpenter. That was the side that Syracuse really took advantage of, and I would expect Vanderbilt to try to take advantage of them with Jordan Matthews. That being said, Fitz came out Tuesday during practice and he said, bring it. We feel as though we have good coverage. We feel as though the fact that we're taking the pass interference penalties means that we're at least with the receivers, which is a big improvement from last season. So Fitz has said he's not going to be as loyal as he was last year, and he's just got one simple message, and that's bring it.
Well, and then the second question everybody's thinking about now is, aside from the coverage, is the brewing quarterback controversy possibly in Evanston. And Rohan, what do you think about that?
All right, so I kind of wrote about this after the game last Saturday. My take on it is, I think Coulter was healthy at the end of the game, but Pat Fitzgerald just felt Simeon's, he's got the better arm. He's the kind of person who can lead us down the field in a 2-minute drill and win the game. Now, a 2-quarterback system, obviously it can work, but I do believe it leads to a little bit of controversy. I think it's up in the air right now. Can this team trust Kane Coulter in a late game situation, or do they need to, move him to a role similar that he had last year as more of a change of pace guy? The team has come up with conflicting stories about what the move was really about. So, it's hard to know exactly what happened. I think the best thing that we can infer, kind of as reporters, you can't always believe the coaches and what they're saying. I really think Coulter was healthy, but, they felt Simeon gave him the best chance to win. We'll see what happens going forward. Last year this team, even with Dan Pursa, had a 2-quarterback system, so it's not a horrible idea. Well, we'll see what happes. Simeon's definitely got some talent.
A little bit of a conspiracy theory going on there.
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. But, who doesn't love a good
Something
conspiracy
slightly
theory?
less controversial then. We hear that Fadi Odenabo will be getting more playing. It's a mouthful. Getting more playing time here on Saturday. What can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, Deontay Gibson hurt his elbow in the last game against Syracuse. He was in a sling after the game Saturday. He was in a sling all day, or all this week during practice. So he's going to be out for the next week or so, according to Pat Fitzgerald. And so the next person in line is the heralded freshman Fadi Odenabo, and facing the media for the first time on Wednesday, looked very calm, very poised. And I really think, especially with his lighter speed, lighter weight, he's going to be able to use that speed to really change the pace on these offensive tackles, probably get to the quarterback. I'm not going to say he's going to break out and have 5 sacks or whatnot, but I think he's going to be a really good player for them. I think he's going to be a great change of pace for them, especially on third down and pass rushing situations, which he even acknowledged is probably his bread and butter.
That's fair. All right, so now, last topic on everybody's mind now is the most explosive player on the NU offense, Vendrick Mark.
Yeah, last year we were kind of talking about this before we started. Vendrick Mark was almost in Pat Fitzgerald's doghouse. But I think coming into this year, he bulked up, he got a little bigger. You could tell he's taking this season really seriously. The team's giving him more responsibility. He's lining up in the backfield. And you saw against Syracuse, he can be used as a weapon. I know reading on Twitter, someone compared him to Reggie Bush. Obviously, Vendrick Mark isn't someone who's probably going to win a Heisman and then have to give it back. But he is talented. He's another one of the players on Northwestern who can create a mismatch. You saw what happened in last week's game. Kane Coulter threw a touchdown pass when a linebacker was covering him. When Vendrick Mark is in the backfield, it creates mismatches, and that's really important to have on offense. It gives Northwestern another edge to go with their receivers. Definitely mix it up. They can play the option game with him. So he's definitely a weapon that they've been needing in the backfield that we haven't had a good rusher in a long time. And, he's looking to provide that to Northwestern.
There've been a lot of injuries in that backfield, yeah. All right, so Northwestern Vanderbilt, what do you got?
Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Commodores in this one. I think Vanderbilt, the combination of Jordan Rogers at quarterback, Jordan Matthews at wide receiver, they're just going to torch the NU secondary, specifically the right side. I think if Pat Fitzgerald finds a way to put Nick Van Hoos on Jordan Matthews, I think there's a chance. You look at that game against South Carolina that Vanderbilt played last Thursday, Jordan Matthews caught 75% of the passes that were completed from Jordan Rogers. So if Northwest can find a way to shut down Jordan Matthews, no doubt in my mind, I think Northwest has a chance. That being said, when's the last time we've seen Northwestern shut down a wide receiver? So I'm going to take Vanderbilt 38-24.
Rohan?
I'm going to have to agree with the Fish on this one. Let me drop. So I'm doing a lot of research, getting into this. Vanderbilt, in my opinion, a very underrated team. Last year, they were 1-5 in one-score games. Their point differential was plus 66. They finished the year 6-7, but their win expectation was actually closer to 8 wins. So this is a team that was really unlucky last year. Even on defense, one of the stats you look at is fumbles. They forced 33 fumbles, only recovered 10. Usually you're looking at that number to be around 16 to 17 in that case. So it's a very unlucky team. You see what happened against South Carolina last week. They played a great game against a top 10 team. And, there's a pass interference call at the end of the game. Doesn't go their way. Maybe it changes the tide. Vanderbilt's offense, we talked about Jordan Rogers, Jordan Matthews. Zach Stacy in the backfield is a very physical runner. I think he can give Northwestern's defense problems up the middle. It'll be a close game. It's a home opener. I think Fitz will have some tricks up his sleeve. The new uniforms will debut. There's going to be a lot of excitement, at least amongst the players. I like that score. I'm going to go 34-24 Vanderbilt. It'll be close, but I don't think Vanderbilt will be in doubt at any time. I'm taking the Commodores.
So there you have it. No love for the Cats. Dan Ryan is Josh Walfish, Ron Nadkarni. Signing off.